Member from York North.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, to echo the comments of the member opposite, I too would like to make a slightly longer statement and beg your humble forgiveness for the 24 or so points of order that may arise. Mr. Speaker, I also want to extend my deepest sympathies to the original author for my modifications. Mr. Speaker, 'twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Dominic hid by the chimney with glee, in hopes he could turn more grits NDP. Coon mused with Austin how next year they'd fare, their hearts quickly filled with fear and despair. 3 parties he's been with, 5 are now seen. Who would have Lamrock in 2014? In Charlotte County, he's known as Ricky, but here on the floor, he's considered most tricky. Penfield took at him like cops to a mobster. Now he's licking his wounds and peddling lobster. Mr. Collins hates schools with no hesitation. When not throwing punches, condemns their location. Collins has a few problems, soon to be mute. When next nomination, Grits give him the boot. A blast from the past, old Mayor Court decided to run now campaigns at the port. No tolls on their bridge, saved you NBSJ. Which of the two would Ivan take away? More rapid than eagles, Gallant grabbed the reins, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Kinney, now Collins, now LeBlanc, our Snow. On Landry, on Fraser, on Albert and Boudreau. The sleigh was not ready and moved clunky that night, as half wanted to slow down, the rest expedite. Gallant became angry with the transport he found. If this were McKenna, they'd be pawing the ground. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when Grits meet an obstacle, all blame they deny. 70 million, how Atcon laughed. Tozer got the money, taxpayers the shaft. Northeastern cameras were flashing with glee as Oxford's announcement made history. Tories rolled up the sleeves and worked as they ought. Denny's contribution, he posed for the shot. In Restigouche County, they know about snow. The longer the winter, the more piles grow. Yet in Dalhousie, there's nary a frown, for Don Arsenault has now moved out of town. The Chaleur Coalition worked well together, making beautiful music in all kinds of weather. Their next performance, not long from today, the retirement party of Mr. Hachet. 3 years with no rate hikes, a New Point LePro. All this in spite of, not because of Boudreau. Now there's a man we shall never forget. We're reminded each time we look at the debt. Liberals are fighting in Miramichi. John Foran, Bill Fraser, which will it be? On a visit to Arbeck, Bill had a dream. Put John on some chipboard and send him downstream. What's Gallant's position? There's always suspense. It's hard on one's bottom to sit on the fence. Chrétien and McKenna both offered advice. Brian paid no attention and slipped on the ice. Frank grabbed the reins and Gallant had no hope. Several times offered, he won't grab the rope. But I heard Frank exclaim, ere he spoke of the tyke, Merry Christmas to all, we'd be stronger with Mike. Merry Christmas.